terrified, clutching your babes to your breast. Emperor Emir has marched his legions into our lands, laid siege to every fortress from here to the Blue Mountains. Rabid and ravenous, he bites and bites away. Men of the North, you stand at the precipice. Your kings have failed you, so now you turn to the gods. And yet you do not plead. You do not kneel to dust your heads with ash. Instead you wail, why have the gods forsaken us? We must look into the trials we failed long ago. In a time past, our world intertwined with another through an upheaval scholars call the conjunction of the spheres. The gods allowed unholy forces to slip into our domain. The offspring of that cataclysm was the nefarious force called magic. Yet we did not banish it, instead studying the vile arcane for our own power and wealth. And the monsters at our door, the unholy relics of this conjunction. The trolls, the corpse eaters, the werewolves. Did we raise our swords against them? Or have we laid this burden on others? On so-called witches. Stray children taught the ways of foul sorcery, their bodies mutated through blasphemous ritual. Sent to fight monsters, though they could not distinguish good from evil. The flicker of humanity, long extinguished within them. Yes, their numbers have dwindled through the years. But a few still roam our lands, offering their bloody work for coin. To this day, they shame us with their very existence. The North bleeds, flogged by war. The battles are the gods' whip, chastisement for our sins. And let us not forget the terrors, the scourges from beyond our world. The wild hunt rides the sky with every full moon. The Dark Raiders abduct our children into lands unknown. Some say they herald a second conjunction. Can we chart a course back into the light? Will we find the strength to banish the mages from our kingdoms? Unite around the warmth of the eternal fire. Nigh is the time of the sword and axe. None will fight this war in our stead. Nigh is the time of madness and disdain.
Welcome. Let's start. New game, fresh start, Blood and Broken Bones tutorial, yes. Simulate Witcher 2 save, yes. And that's it.
You know I don't find that amusing.
It wasn't meant to amuse, but to prod you to hurry. It's midday already. You promised Ciri you'd train with her. Go before Vesemir bores her to death with those etchings.
So, later then.
See you later.
Sorry for that. I needed to reduce the game volume so you can hear my voice. Okay, welcome to The Witcher. The tutorial will introduce you to the game's core elements. Yes. It's that's too fast. Sorry, I need to tune this down. Control settings. Right stick camera. Well, no, is it under key bindings? No, that's not what if I move my mouse, movement responds. Autosave, difficulty, yes, difficulty level, okay, grant difficulty level. Damn, I mean, this is extremely fast. I'm not sure if I like it. I might have to change my Windows settings for the mouse later. Or I have to play with the controller, but I don't really want that. The minimap in the upper right corner. Yes, surrounding area location, of course. Jennifer. I mean, damn. And Triss is as beautiful as she is, and then look at what we got in the Netflix season 1. Even though they tried to Trissify her, the actress, in the season 2.
Mountain Pass is beautiful as ever.
Kind of worked. Kind of. I mean, you have to remind yourself, this game was made in 2014, I think? Was it 15? I mean, I started playing 15, but I'm not sure when it was released. So it's relatively old. And even back in the days, it set the bar relatively high, even though, of course, this is a new HD texture pack and all of that kind of spooky stuff. It doesn't change the fact that this game, even back then, looked extraordinary. And it's quite well optimized, at least now, so it runs even on weak machines. To find the key to the bedroom door. Oh, hello, Jennifer. What's up?
See, I thought Ciri could stand to wait a little longer.
It's uninstructive, not to mention unreasonable.
I don't want to be reasonable.
Aha, so that's the way the wind blows. Go and train with her, then come back. It'll give me a chance to put my face on.
Of all the women I've known, you're the only one who does that before.
You've known many.
What's it matter? Only ever thought of you.
There is this scene that I remember where she throws out the bed. I'm not sure if that was in Witcher 2. I believe in my first playthrough, my gameplay, back in the days before I made gameplay, we recorded it, I romanced Jennifer. I'm not sure if we're going to romance her again, or if we're going to romance Triss. Okay, hold the right mouse button to use your Witcher sense. Ay, ay, ay. Nice, okay.
You're running out of juice.
I know. You might bring me some more once you're done training.
Well, we can't have Jennifer going. Maxi. Ah! Extinguish! Haha! Okie dokie. Well, no, we're not going there now. Where's that? The bubbles rising. Ah! To unlock locked doors, walk up and press E. Okay, that's jumping. Damn, this is ultra smooth. Smoothie? Smoothies? Smooth. Damn, I mean, it's 120 FPS plus G-Sync. It's a pity I can't give you G-Sync. YouTube recording always just 60 FPS without G-Sync. It's night and day. This feels like I've played on 240 144 and 360 FPS monitors, and this feels like roughly 300 FPS. So 120 Hz on an OLED with G-Sync feels like 300 FPS. Yeah, if I'm honest, I want to say even it feels even smoother, simply because the input lag time, response time is just lightning fast on an OLED TV. At least on a good one, like an LG CX or C1. With a decent game mode. I mean, this... Damn. I mean, this is ultra smooth. Sorry, I'm continuing my gameplay. It's just... Damn. I'm not used to this.
Old Witcher's fast asleep. Ciri's disappeared somewhere, of course.
Vesemir. They cast him good.
Guess she prefers practice to theory.
Why?
Time to wake up, Master. These lessons so boring they put you to sleep too?
Damn it. Got her taking notes on ghouls and owl ghouls. Wanted to rest my eyes a bit.
Making her slog through that brick? No wonder she took off.
John of Bruges lacks flair, true, but he's reliable. Not like the hogwash they print nowadays. She's tackling the pendulums, right? How many times do I have to tell her? Don't train alone. It only embeds your errors. Bring our young damsel to the lower courtyard. She wants to practice, she'll get to practice.
Don't get mad at her.
Why the hell not? The whippersnapper refuses to do as she's told.
You like that about her.
Fine. I suppose I'm partly to blame. But this has to end. Now. Killing monsters is not something to be taken lightly. Ciri must understand that, if she's to become one of us. I'll see you below.
Now I see why you were so eager to practice. Strike. You're not in this circus. Pirouette. Wrong. Footwork. Enough. Get down.
With a flip?
What do you think? All right. Take off the blindfold. You've got work to do. Your reflexes are still slow.
Maybe for a witcher.
Think drowners or striggers will go easy on you because you haven't undergone the mutations? Though in your shoes, I'd fear Vesemir more than any strigger. Disobeying his instructions? Unwise.
Well, yes, but that book was horribly dull.
I know, and you know that's no excuse.
I'm sorry. It won't happen again.
Just for your information, this is just a tutorial. Later on we're going to get an adult series and the bigger storyline, and we have to keep in mind there is a grand world-spanning storyline above this, Witcher 3. And Syria has an important role to play. I'm not going to spoiler that anymore. So there are certain choices in the game that we have to make, and they can completely change the ending. There are like 4, 5, 6 endings, and they can differentiate massively from everyone dying, everyone surviving, some dying, some surviving, stuff like that. Real ending. And it partly depends on the choices we make when we are around Ciri. So sometimes it's good to think about all of this for a second.
Better not. Vesemir said if it does, he'll make you eat a bowl of slugs covered in salt.
You!
Exactly. So you'd best behave. Come on, we'll practice with the others down below.
Shall we run the walls?
And I also want to mention, just for a second here, the cast for Ciri in the Netflix series is extraordinary. That's how I imagine Ciri. So there are some choices. Triss. And I damn, what was her name again? The Nilfgaardian sorceress. The one, the darker skinned. Skin. Wait, I'm going to find that out. That's a shame. As a Witcher fan who's played all Witcher games. I didn't read the books. I wanted to do that, but I haven't found time yet. 2-season cast. What's her... Wait a second. Season 2... Where is... Yes, Anna Schaffer. She plays Triss. Mimi Nidvini. Yeah, you're going to get a small heart attack. Later on, if we get to see her character in the game, which completely differentiates from what Netflix has done. Witcher 2 season characters. And, of course, in the game, she looks different. Some argue that Netflix blackwashed the series, and I don't really care about that. It's not about skin color, it's about, does a person fit the role? That has to do with character, with facial animation, with voice, with overall behavior, atmosphere. For example, Dijkstra with Graham McTavish. That's an extraordinary cast. I mean, it's a good actor, and he's just Dijkstra. Okay, we're going to end this now. I'm not going to tell you her name. I just looked it up. I want you to notice. So, at some point in the storyline, we're going to meet her, but she is a complete different character in the game, and that's why a lot of people criticize Netflix for purposely blackwashing blah 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 Witcher. But again, that matters not. It can't be a main argument. It doesn't matter if someone's skin color is black, green, or I don't know. That's not what a good story is about. But the problem is if the character does not fit the overall theme and stand behind the storyline. And that can be criticized, and I'm also not convinced of her performance and of her overall, well, story arc and how she fits into it. It just feels off, it feels forced. And let's run the walls.
Of course. Is a Witcher school or an elven bathhouse?
To the bottom.
Maybe if you fall. What did I tell you about breathing? Through your mouth, in rhythm with your steps. Siri, cut it out.
Ah yes, fall damage. There was a mod that removed fall damage. I'm not going into that. So we have fall damage, so we need to care.
Run into trouble? Should I turn back and help you?
Where are we going to let her win, of course?
Na 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 na.
I mean, that's what a good father should do. Sometimes. Not always, but sometimes.
Oh no, Vesemir's got that look.
What did you expect?
Anything to say for yourself, young lady?
I'm very sorry, Uncle Vesemir.
Young blood craves action, I understand that. But when you fight a beast, knowledge counts as much as your silver sword. At the very least, you ought to be able to tell a ghoul from an owl ghoul.
By markings, like unto the Panthera tigris that in Zerrikania dwells, and by the sickly paleness of its visage.
So you did read the chapter. Still, you should have asked if...
But you were asleep, Uncle Vesemir.
So you did the reading. Why not admit it right off?
Never pounce on an advantage as soon as it appears. Wait till it stands to have maximum effect. Uncle Vesemir's words.
Well, you're a quick study. Quick, but mischievous. Fine, we've talked enough. Gerald, you're with me, Lambert with Eskel, Ciri with the dummy.
Again?
Stop groaning and grab a sword. What do you think? Should we start by reviewing the fundamentals or go right to free training?
Should work on the basics. Even skilled masters need to hone the fundamentals, and Ciri's barely a novice.
Draw your sword, Gerald!
Okie dokie, I'm going to read this stuff. Combat. Witches must be prepared to fight foes of all kinds, be they plate-clad knights, ethereal wraiths, or bone-crushing giants, or dragons, or other creatures. We're going to meet a lot of them. That's why Witcher is awesome. You're going to meet all kinds of monsters. Even though the biggest monsters were in Witcher 2, to match the strength and exploit the weaknesses of different enemies, witches need to use a variety of weapons and combat techniques. The core tools of their trade are their swords. One steel, for fighting humans and non-humans, the other silver, for slaying monsters. Witches have also mastered a simple form of combat, magic. These signs are not as powerful as the spells wielded by mages, but they can be cast very quickly, with simple one-handed gestures, making them quite useful in the heat of combat. Witches are also adept in basic alchemy. They can brew powerful potions, blade oils and bombs, all of which give them a keen advantage when fighting stronger or faster foes. Yes. Y to select or deselect a target. Okay.
Quick cuts. 1, 2, 3.
You'll never learn.
Strong strikes now. Give it all you got. Never lock your elbow when striking, young lady.
Slice your jugular.
Stop showing off, Gerald. Dodge.
Position, Ciri. Footwork. Remember.
Okay, to dodge to one side, indicate a direction using W, A, D or A, and press Alt.
Who's next?
To roll out of the way, choose a direction and press space. Yes, I'm a roller. Alt is just unintuitive.
Ciri, see how Gerald holds his sword? It's angled. Tomfoolery!
What am I supposed to parry? I'm fighting a stupid dummy.
Pretend now, live later. Riposte! Strike! Counter-strike!
Yes. Press the right mouse button just before your opponent strikes to perform a counterattack.
Maybe a storm's coming.
Slice your jugular.
Now, young lady, to bring the day to a close, we'll go over a few witches' signs. Let's start with Quen.
Alrighty, so we have 5 signs. We have Yirden, with Quen, Igni, Axi, and Ard. So Quen it is. To cast a sign, press Q, yes.
Ciri, Quen is sometimes called the Witch's Shield. Now watch carefully to see what. Cast Igni, Gerald. I want to see sparks fly. See? If not for the Quen sign, I'd be aflame by now. Hard, Gerald. Come on. See that, Ciri? Who's next? Time for Axie. Damn it. I hate this feeling. What the blazes are you doing? Axie can really muddle your mind. Erden now. Show her, Gerald. See this, Ciri? Couldn't move if I wanted to. Come on, at them. Throw a bomb. Don't worry, Ciri. Quen will dampen the blow.
Alrighty, so let's finish this and start a new episode. Damn, The Witcher. I mean, this is a glorious game. This started, well, maybe you could say an adult fantasy genre with more realism, with fear and hatred and monsters and nudity. Not a lot of the Rings, where everything is pure high fantasy. This is more of a darker fantasy, which is why a lot of people like this. So, stay tuned for another time in the world of The Witcher.